Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, this lecture will inspire you some ways or, I don't know, help you dive into what I call digital collagism. So I come from a collage practice, and I think AI is the natural continuity to the collage practice. And this is what I'm going to demonstrate through this presentation. Oops. So as Helena said in the introduction, I've been around the digital realm for a long time. I was born in the 80s, so I grew up without the internet, and I grew up with the rising of social media, and I've always been into screen culture. So before the internet, it was television, and now since the internet is there, it's been a continuity into this major interest. So before Facebook, I was doing what I called MySpace art, and then MySpace disappeared, and I started using Facebook as a platform for writing songs and creating an avatar around myself. But it was like in 29 and between 2009 and 2012. So it feels like ages ago. It was 10 years ago. So it feels like a complete different timeline. The world has changed so much, and the digital world has changed so much. But I wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction about that and how digital art started on social media as well, because at this time, the internet was like a playground. It wasn't the big data and the Zuckerberg kingdom yet, and it was really inspiring. Um, so as I said, I come from a digital collage practice, and before doing digital collage, I started with paper and scissors, like classical collage, with a big inspiration with Dadaism and Surrealism. Hannah Hush is my goddess. And then I started making animation and collage. And I always wanted the collage to be in movement, and I tend to be very maximalist and very hyper focused. And so when I get an interest in something, I just like do it all the way. So the pop culture has been a big inspiration. Pop icons, actors, memes, and everything around this. And one important fact that will come back later and is actually coming back today in my practice is that I always recycle. And for all of these years, I was doing digital art and digital collage and digital videos. I was using the same image over and over again, but I was combining them in different ways. So if you look at my ancient work, you can see some of the PNGs are exactly the same, but they are used in different ways. And that's something I found really interesting about, and especially talking about AI and how it's getting fed with all of this imagery and how it's digesting and like it's always the same cycle of like a lot of images get digested by the machine, and before the machine was my brain. And is there a difference? I don't know. I don't think so. But I find it very inspiring. Um, yeah, so I didn't know that I would do 3D at some point because I don't really understand the notion of perspective, but I started making AR filters with the collage I was making, and it was an entrance to embody my work and also use my work as an open gallery. So I would see people wearing my filters all around the world, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like I just do that in my room, and then I see someone in like across the world just like using these filters that I was just making for fun. And I think it's very interesting to see, and that's something I really like about AR, is how physical can collide with the digital. And I think it's very, uh, it's something that we are going to see more in the future. Um, and there is one downside of this, which is the dependency that we get from social media, because they're hosting our work as digital artists. And so if tomorrow Instagram decides to shut down their AR platform, which they did at the beginning of the year, all of my work that I ever done in AR disappeared. And I had the same experience with Vine. At the time, I was a big Vine user, and I had over 200,000 followers on there, and it just shut down, and I lost that. So it's also a reminder that these platforms are great for showcasing the work, but numbers don't mean anything because it can disappear overnight. And this is not what it is giving value to digital art, which is a big subject as well. Like, how do we value digital art besides from the views and the likes? I don't have any answer right now, but I'm just opening the gates. Um, so I want to jump into the AI stuff because that's I have a lot of things to share with you. So this is something that is evolving very fast. I know you're all aware about that. Just a quick view of what I was doing with DALL-E 2 and Midjourney at the beginning and how it's ending right now with the same models, the same platform with different models. Um, and yeah, so that's a little timeline. And at the beginning, I was starting using AI to continue making AR. So I was making face mask to create AR filters, using also Gravity Sketch to make 3D and just kind of like combining the tools. Again, as a collage mind, it was a way also to gather different techniques and um, gathering it in the same place. Um, and so I started training my models not a long time ago, maybe last summer. And I figured that if I use all of my digital collage that I use for AR, I could make new kind of stuff. So these are outputs I got with Civitai, and then I put them in TikTok and then added some other 3D stuff on top of it. So it's again a matter of like layering and recycling and layering the work. Um, and there is also another thing that I've tried that I really got into is outpainting mixing with virtual reality. So what I did on this piece and the other one I'm going to show right after is I started with a small piece of the Sixtine Chapel, and then I expanded it square after square in DALL-E 2, and then I used each square to as a brush in Gravity Sketch to create a virtual environment and isolating some elements to also make it like a big collage, but a collage that you can actually not physically, but virtually, physically be into. That's another example with the Kiss by Klimt. Again, same technique, isolating one piece that I kind of like customized with emojis and then expanded it square after square and using the square as a brush, a painting brush. And this has led me to do something in a place called Art in Space in Dubai, and they have a curved um, screen, and also like it's different from the virtual reality, and this time you can actually be inside the screen, and that's something I'm really excited about, how digital art is getting more interesting display mode, and that's something we are going to see more and more in the future, and I'm really excited about that. So again, the idea of recycling the work. So this is an example of what I did in Midjourney, using three different collage and then having the other, like this one as a result, and then this mixing this and getting this as a result. And it kind of like helped me to step out of my comfort zone and step out of the automatic creation, and to find new imagery, and yeah, get some um, new hybrids. And I also think that inspiration come from like a mega interconnected mind, and the more we create, the more we feed the beasts, and the more creativity gets um, wide and interconnected. This is another example because I want to go back to animation. So these are all still images. So they were kind of like a research phase about new aesthetics that I could get with AI. And so I got into also the tools were evolving very fast. And before that, we didn't have video. So it was just like either cutting things by hand, like I used to do, but it would take like a lot of time, and it wasn't like um, I was like missing something from from the machine. And then we now we are able to make videos, and I want to show you how it looks. I'm gonna jump uh, right into other stuff. So this was made before, like in last summer, with tools at the stage where they were, which was very um, approximative, and it's getting more and more accurate, and you can get more and more control over the outputs. But one thing that I found very challenging in AI is the fact that the aesthetic kind of aligns, and you can see a lot of things looking like exactly the same. And the big challenge as a digital artist using AI is to not look like everybody else. And you can tell that images are made with which and what models. Like there is a Midjourney aesthetic, there is a Leonardo aesthetic, there is a DALI 2, the DALI 3, and I could go on. Like you can tell, if you educate your eye, you can see what was made with what. And all of these images were made using the exact same prompt. So it also tells like how like like it's just talking to different languages to different machines. because I also think that AI is a matter of communication, and that's also something to note. Um, I was very lucky in 2022 to have access to the DALI 2 to DALI 3 experimental model, and I went crazy. I just generated like hardcore. I generated almost 40,000 creatures. And then I started animating them using a motion tracking application. And so it was supposed to be a test for a few weeks, and then it lasted for a few months, but it disappeared. So I couldn't create any more of these creatures that I got really attached to. And I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Um, but again, training was a good way to get back my imagery and reincorporated into a recycling process. So this is a part of the data set that I used to train one model on Civitai again. And this is the kind of output that I got. So I was already really happy with the creatures that I got, but this is like next level, and the textures and the quality of the images got very like really cool. And now it's getting in exhibition space, and I think also it's really cool. And this is where I wanted to bring you in today. Today I am back to telling stories. That's something I used to do back in the days when I was making performance art and songs. And now it's possible again to tell stories thanks to AI. So these are characters research that I made in DALI 3. I'm very inspired by Archimboldo, so it's always an agglomeration of objects, but Archimboldo 3.0 or something like that. And then I started playing around potato because I thought it was why not. And also potato is fun because it can be French fries, it can be baked, it can be chips, it can be puree, it can be whatever. And this is how Charlie, the polymorphic potato, was born. She's a Virgo. She was born in August, late August. And so I started working on the idea of making a movie. Um, and I started writing scripts with uh, OpenAI, ChatGPT, and the results weren't that great. And so I asked my friend Thomas Mansuy, who is a screenwriter, to help me write a story around this potato. We were kind of like going from this character and like using all of the weirdness. This is where I like to challenge the normativity. Like there is nothing normal about that. Like it's always weird. There are always like weird human figures in the background. Like what is this plane doing here? Like, and I don't want to erase any of these mistakes. I just want to use them to tell absurd stories and dive into what AI can bring in surrealism. And I think it's like, it's as if we had access to a global consciousness dreaming and having like crazy dreams and willing not to correct the mistakes and willing to accept the proposition is something that makes me uh, like it's really inspiring. As I say that a lot, but it's really it's always jumping on another idea, and it's like a trampoline of ideas, and I have a lot of fun doing that. So here is the result. I think we have time to watch it. It's only 5 minutes. Prénom, Charlie. Famille, tubercule. Je suis une patate, et ceci est mon histoire. Je suis née comme une patate, plan à la verticale, germe vers le haut, de la terre pas trop tassée, et puis j'ai ouvert les yeux, tous mes yeux, genre beaucoup d'yeux. Est-ce que j'ai pleuré? Je ne sais pas, peut-être. La plus jolie de tout le service, une petite grenaille bien calibrée. Tout le monde disait, celle-là, elle va rouler loin, la vie ne sera que rissolement. C'est peut-être pour ça que je me suis jamais posé de questions. J'ai juste suivi la recette. J'ai été désirée, entourée, brossée, j'ai tout eu. Tout. Des copains, des copines, du ketchup à la cantine, la meilleure à la corde à pommes de terre sautée, première patate partie, premier baiser, un peu trop de sauce mais c'était bon. Bac, classe pré-patate, AOC, et puis tout qui s'enchaîne, à toute vapeur. Première connerie aussi, j'ai abusé du Botox. Je suis tombée dans le glyphosate. J'ai perdu mon label bio pour un peu de sauce samouraï. J'ai fait le tour du monde, je suis passée à la casserole. On m'a tout dit, même que je pourrais pousser sur Mars. Et puis à force de se planter, on finit par se poser. C'est tonton qui a filmé le mariage. On est beau, hein? Monsieur et Madame Patate. Oui, parce que l'amour, parce qu'un jour on se jette à l'eau, on se laisse éplucher. Et puis on se marie en robe des champs, parce qu'on en rêvait, ou peut-être parce qu'on nous a dit à la télé, dans les films, parce qu'on suit la recette, sans se poser de questions. Mais on s'en fout, on a le rêve, sans économe, schlac, sous nos yeux, tous nos yeux, genre beaucoup d'yeux. C'est pratique parce qu'on fait tous le même, en même temps. Maillot, boulot, dodo. Maillot, boulot, dodo. On fait son beurre, on épatate la galerie. Et à la fin de la journée, on est rosti. Mais faut rester appétissante, faut bouillir pour être belle. Alors on fait ce qu'il faut. Pour que la fécule reste féculente, que le tubercule reste tuberculeux, que la chair reste ferme. Patatas bravas, patati patata. Ok, mais on fait comment quand on sait pas où poser ses racines? Purée. Non mais ça va aller, hein, ça va.
Non.
Non, je crois que ça va pas.
Tate.
Ça va pas du tout. Non, ça va pas.
Tatra.
Et un jour, on ouvre les yeux. Mais on est quand même dans le noir, on tente le retour à la terre. Mais c'est pas Noirmoutier, hein. C'est le noir sous vide, le noir dont on est perdu. Une patate à tâtons dans le néant intertupérique. Seul au milieu du gratin. Alors que merde, j'ai été tout ce qu'il fallait. Chips en été, frites quand il fallait snacker, duchesse dans le haut du panier, vapeur en hiver, en tortilla avec des moules, des haricots, en aligot, en poutine, en tartine. Je me suis fait braiser dans tous les sens. Mais jamais cru. Jamais. Sans assaisonnement, on est quoi en fait? On est quelque chose. Oh, je vous parle. Vous m'entendez ou pas?
Tate.
On est là, des milliards, pareil. Tout simple mais pas suffisant. On roule, on cherche ailleurs, sans rien comprendre. Et le Botox pour tenir, et le condensed milk pour se diluer les flocons, pour travailler l'amidon. Mais la vérité, c'est que la vie, elle est hachie. Et nous, on se fait bouffer. Purée.
Sombre tubercule, sans sauce pour te consoler, terre seule te pleure.
Après, peut-être que c'est pas que notre faute. Oui, peut-être qu'on a appris que ça. Qu'on a juste pris exemple. C'est pour ça qu'on se pose jamais de questions. Ou sinon, c'est parce qu'on est tous des patates. Et à la fin, on sait toujours pas. Pourtant, on a suivi la recette. So that was Charlie, and we are currently making a series from this short movie. It got a little bit of visibility in festivals. It got a few prizes, which is crazy to me. It was just like, hey, let's do something fun. And I didn't realize that people would actually like it. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And so now we are developing it as a series, and the pilot is actually in post-production right now. So I'm really excited about that. Um, and so from this experience that was actually very positive, we had a lot of fun writing it. We had a lot of fun working on it. It was my first short movie. I've never done this before. I was actually very surprised on how easy AI makes it for people who don't really have the money for a production or the money to pay actors or the money to, like I'm not a movie production company, and but from my apartment with I have a few I'm a part of a few creative partner programs with Runway and Luma, for example, and Pika. So it's actually a collaboration with them, and I can use their platform as much as I want to get as creative and as wild as I want. From my apartment, I can make as many movies that I want. I'm currently working on another one right now, just after finishing the pilot. And this one I'm going to show you right now is a shorter one. It's called Fake News. And this one was made mixing uh, like raw output from basically like text to image and a mix with trained models trained on the text to image outputs.
Bonsoir à toutes et tous. Le représentant du mouvement Omelette a déclaré hier « Le compromis existe, ça s'appelle l'œuf mollet ». Des scientifiques évoquent des perturbations magnétiques inhabituelles. Elles seraient liées à l'augmentation soudaine de consommation de choucroute.
Une enquête troublante montre que 60% du trafic Internet mondial est lié aux chats. Tout cela serait orchestré par une organisation féline pour maintenir leur domination psychologique sur les humains.
Et c'est une très bonne chose.
Une rivière décide de couler à l'envers pour rendre hommage à un poème oublié par le vent.
Et si tout ce que nous savons du monde n'était qu'un voile? Les mystères s'épaississent et les vérités se dérobent.
Sur les réseaux sociaux, certains murmurent le mot « vortex ». Les langoustines pétomanes de Bretagne font désormais partie du patrimoine culturel mondial.
Moi, le burger, je suis l'ombre dans ce monde de lumière superficielle.
Mais tout de suite, un reportage passionnant sur la fabrication artisanale des chaussons aux pommes dans le Limousin. Ne zappez pas. Si une quiche lorraine vous parle dans un rêve, écoutez-la.
So everything was made in AI, from the voice to which is different from Deepfake, because on Deepfake it was my voice, and this one is like 100% made in AI, from the sound effect, the music, the voiceover, the images, obviously, and it was selected in so I see a lot of festivals being created around AI filmmaking, and the scene, like it's unbelievable what I can see, and the creativity and the out of the box thinking and the new aesthetics that are emerging from this is just mind blowing, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, and it's just getting better and better because the models are improving and the technology is improving. So there is absolutely no limitation to creativity and to your ideas. Again, like I can be standing in my apartment and be like, oh, I want to make a movie about like a cucumber, and I can make a movie about a cucumber. Um, and that's really amazing, and I really highly recommend to check out all of the AI film festivals, because there are like little gems of things to watch, better than Netflix. Not better than the White Lotus, but better than Netflix. Oops. Um, so again, keep experimenting, and I wanted to um, not only be in narrative format. I also wanted to still engaging with my very like collage background that is more like surrealist, dadaist kind of aesthetics. And these are outputs I got with Luma. And then I wanted to train a model on Crea with this output and to make more like a kind of like a visual spell, because I also believe that there is kind a part of witchcraft in AI and in digital art in general. And this is what I got. And again, like everything from the image to the sound design to the animation were made in AI. It and this will be the last part of this presentation. I've been talking about training a lot, uh, and this is where we're going back to circling back to what I was saying in the beginning about how AI is kind of like a mega brain of collage practice, because you can train your model, but you can also combine them together, and this is collage. Like it's like exactly what it is. And I wanted to share with you this collaboration I made with three other artists for an exhibition, Tiggy Thorn, Ines Alpha, and Bora. We had a group show that I co-created with Ines, and we had like all of our work in the exhibition space, and we also wanted to do something collaborative, but in AI. So I've trained a model with just a few images, not a lot, maybe like 4 or 5 per artist. Um, and this is what we got. And I still can't, like, I'm obsessed with these images. I think they are like extremely sharp and the textures are amazing. And thinking that from this we can get a complete, like as if it was like a complete different artist. But you can still see some, you can identify a little bit of Tiggy here, a little bit of Bora out here, a little bit of Ines in the mask and the bubbles and everything. Like you can see the artist, but if we were presenting this without giving any context, nobody would ever know. That's also a tricky thing with AI, and that's a big subject about data training and what data centers are using as data sets, which is a big subject that we can discuss after during the questions. But like with consent of the artists, making a model that mix all of the art together is like it's the next level of collaboration. And then a little bit of fun with some AI collage and then archives and then mixing, like training my models with AI collage, training models with my manual digital collage, and then getting something completely different. And then mixing, like, these are 4 different aesthetics from my, like they all come from my work, but they don't really look like they're very different from each other. But when you combine them together, you get like kind of like a hybridization of all of my work. And again, this is going back to collage. This is extreme collage. This is recycling also the imagery of the internet. And yeah, I think it's like this is what I'm doing right now with the new work that I'm working on right now. And I think we have time for this. This is a very short little film I made after a very complicated conference I had in a festival where people weren't AI enthusiasts at all. And I needed to get it out of my system. And yeah, that's it will speak by itself.
Non, l'intelligence artificielle n'est pas de l'art et ne le sera jamais. Nous avons combattu la photographie, nous avons combattu le synthétiseur, nous combattrons l'IA. Nous devons légiférer immédiatement pour interdire cette dénaturation de la création.
Taisez-vous.
Permettez-moi d'interrompre ce programme pour vous inviter dans un voyage à travers l'art et les âges. Pour Socrate, l'écriture était une menace pour la mémoire. Pourtant, elle nous permet depuis des millénaires de créer et raconter des histoires, quelle que soit la forme qu'on choisit de leur donner ou l'outil qu'on utilise pour les raconter. Imaginez un peu si les artistes avaient respecté les cadres académiques sans pouvoir jamais en sortir. À en croire les critiques de chaque époque, de toute façon, c'était jamais de l'art. À chaque génération, tout ce qui apportait de la nouveauté et du changement a été condamné avant d'être acclamé. Le street art, le jazz, le rock, le hip-hop, le punk, la musique électronique. Marcel Duchamp a plié la question avec son urinoir. L'art, c'est ce qu'on exprime de notre époque, de notre sensibilité, de nos technologies. Que ça soit par la photographie analogique ou numérique, la sculpture en cornichon, le cinéma de genre, bourré d'effets spéciaux ou non, des cascades ou pas, avec ou sans intelligence artificielle. Alors laissez les artistes tranquilles. Merci.